Hi everyone, Melissa here. I'm back with another video, and this week is all about manifesting a specific person. So I want this video to be your one-stop shop. If you're trying to manifest an SP, I don't care what your circumstances are, this video is going to help you. This is the only video you need today. You will have results and success after applying what I say in this video. Okay, so let's get into it. Number one, when you are manifesting anything, remember, you're not pulling something out of thin air. You're not attracting something. You're not forcing somebody to do something. You're not forcing something to show up out here. You are changing your identity in here, which reflects out here constantly. So when you change here, it changes here, because that's the only way reality is experienced, is through your awareness, through your consciousness. Whatever you are aware of being, the truths that you are aware of or identifying with, that's all what's pushing out into your reality, okay? So change here, out here naturally changes. All right, how do we change something with SP? This applies to literally any circumstance. I don't care if there's a third party. I don't care if you've never met SP. I don't care if you've known SP for 20 years. I don't care if it's been hot and cold. I don't care if they live on the other side of the planet. It does not matter. This is all you ever have to do. Okay, have your desire. So your desire is, I want a relationship with SP. Then, why do I think that that is not true in my reality right now? Many times the first answer that I hear clients say to that is, well, because I don't see proof. There's no proof out here that I'm in this relationship. Okay, that is just a fundamental misunderstanding of how reality works. You never need proof out here for something to be true, because you are the meaning maker of everything, which is why you often hear people say circumstances don't matter. Only your state of being matters. Only the truth you are applying to circumstances matter. So if you are looking out here and choosing to make whatever you are seeing mean that SP doesn't want to be with you, then that's the truth you are going to continue experiencing your reality until you change it. If you are looking out here and telling yourself and making it mean that no matter what I see or don't see, SP loves me and I'm the love of their life, that is the truth that you will experience until and unless you choose to perceive something different. So your perception is your power here. The truth you are assigning to literally anyone and everything is your power here. How you navigate your circumstances, how you respond to your circumstances is your power. So going back to the SP desire, okay? How you can figure out where you're at with that is, tell yourself that your desire is true. And then what's your emotional reaction to that? What thoughts come up when you say SP and I are in a relationship? That there's your story that you're telling yourself that's contrary to what you want. There's your truth that you're buying into that's telling you that your SP desire is not true, that your SP manifestation is not true. So let's do some specific examples. I had a client the other day that is manifesting a specific person, okay? And in her reality, in her experience, what she is perceiving to be true is they stopped communicating with me. Okay, well, does that equal what you want? No. Okay, well, then you got to stop assigning that meaning to whatever circumstance you're perceiving. So just because you didn't get a response to that text message, don't make that mean they are not responding. On face value, it probably seems like, look, I can clearly see I wrote a message and they didn't write back. That means they're not responding. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You're just using your logical mind to try to figure it out. There's no room for that here. We don't need that here. We assume a truth. We command a truth. We experience it. You're doing it constantly all day long. You just don't even realize it. You know, if you're noticing no movement with an SP, or you're noticing no contact with an SP, it's only because you're noticing it. It's only because you're looking out here and saying, oh, I'm seeing what I'm perceiving as no contact, so that's the truth about this. I'm seeing what I'm perceiving as being unloved, so that's what's true about this. I'm looking out here and deciding, well, this circumstance means that SP doesn't want to be with me, so that's what's true about this. You're constantly giving meaning to everything out here. So what truth are you telling yourself about SP and the relationship? You can often figure that out by how you are emotionally. If you are sad or triggered or upset when you're thinking about a specific person, there's your truth. There's the truth. What am I thinking right now that's making me feel this way? There's your answer. If you're sad because you're not getting a response back, you're making the circumstance of not seeing a text message mean something bad to you, have a negative meaning to you, mean that SP doesn't love you or that SP doesn't want to talk to you. So use your emotions to guide you, to help you understand the truth you're labeling, the truth you're giving something and someone. And then here's the thing. Once you know that, just change it, challenge it. You don't have to believe every thought you have. You don't have to keep agreeing with thoughts that you don't prefer. You don't have to keep agreeing with the truth of something that you've decided in your mind. Just because I thought something was true before doesn't mean it's true now. Just because I've never experienced this before doesn't mean I can't experience it now. Challenge those beliefs. Challenge those truths, because the truth is always subjective to you, to your perception, to the meaning you are giving everything, which is why everything changes constantly, which is why you can always manifest anything, because it's you. It's all coming through you, for you. And then once you've figured out those beliefs and decided you're going to stop agreeing with them, there's two ways you can go about it. One, you create a completely new belief and you just choose to decide that that's the truth now, no matter what, period, don't care. Everything else is irrelevant. This is what's true. You are living mentally from that end, disregarding any other truths you may have previously believed, okay? But sometimes people struggle with that. So you can also work within the parameters of your current belief. I was just talking to somebody the other day and I pointed out a limiting story that they were telling themselves, and they really got upset about it. They really didn't like noticing that, being made aware of that. And they even doubled down and said, well, I've had this belief for 10 years and I'm not interested in changing it. Okay, well, if that's the case, if you feel like you really 100% cannot change something you're believing is true, then let's work within the parameters of that to still change the story you're telling yourself about and the limitations you're giving yourself about this desire. So let's apply that to the specific person thing. Let's say that belief was SP is a bad communicator. You're just not willing to give up that belief. Forever and ever, this specific person will be a bad communicator. Okay, that's fine. If that's something you choose to hold on to, that's an identity you choose to hold on to as it relates to that specific person, okay. Don't make that mean you still can't get what you want. Even though SP is a bad communicator, they still message me all the time. They still always respond to me. They still make me a priority. They love me regardless of how they communicate. They love me regardless of how many times they text me. So you change the story. And if you have to work within the parameters of a belief that you feel like you just don't want to get rid of, do that. Let me give it to you in another example. Lots of people want to remove a third party. Okay. That's a super popular topic that comes up. Okay. What you are telling yourself is true about the situation is everything. Okay. So you can completely wipe out the belief that there's a third party at all. Remember that you're the one who decides the truth. The truth is subjective to your perspective. If you start deciding there's only me, there's no one else. There's no one else. You're not even acknowledging that there even is a third party, because there isn't one, because it's just you and SP. SP's with me. SP adores me. That's it. SP's only romantically interested in me, period. Okay. There's one way to insert a new belief, to start agreeing with a new truth. However, if you are someone who has seen proof of a third party in your reality, and it's really hard for you to just decide, oh, this person doesn't exist, then work within the parameters of the belief that you have. Work within the parameters of your current belief system, okay? So that would look like, well, they were together, but they're not together anymore. as a third party's totally out of the picture. They broke up. They're not interested in each other. They don't talk anymore. They've completely moved on. They have found happiness with someone else. You see, so you're not able to, in your mind, you're choosing not to disagree with the reality that a 3D exists, right? So you're working within your belief system. So stop fighting against what you're telling yourself is true and just shift it. Reframe it. Somehow, some way, reframe it so it works in your favor towards the desire that you want, towards your end goal with your specific person. Okay, so let's go back and just recap this really quickly. Figure out what you want. So I want a relationship with SP. Great. Perfect. Amazing. You know what you want. Why do I think I can't have it? Why do I think it's not true right now? Okay, well, those aren't permanent. Those are just stories I've been telling myself. Those are beliefs and assumptions I picked up along the way. I'm choosing not to agree with those anymore. I'm choosing a new truth. I'm changing my story. I'm deciding something different is true now. And then move forward in that assumption. It doesn't matter what's out here. It only matters what's in here. And if you're constantly fighting against what's out here, you've got to ask yourself, why? Why am I fighting against this? What am I telling myself is true right now that makes me think this is hard, impossible, not happening, not true? And then reframe what you're telling yourself is true, either with a completely new belief, with a completely new assumption, or reframe it within the parameters of the belief that you're not willing to let go of. Because here's the thing. It's always a choice, whether you believe that or not, whether you want to think that or not, you always have a choice whether or not I'm going to believe this thought. Just because it popped in my head doesn't mean it has to be true. I decide what's true in my reality because my perception is my power and everything is my awareness. Okay? So you don't have to believe every thought you have. And when you change the way you think about a specific person, everything changes. The last point I want to make in this video is it is always the present moment. You are always living in the present moment. It's just, what are you telling yourself is true in every present moment? If you're telling yourself things that are true that you don't like, and then you're reacting to the circumstances that match that, you're keeping yourself stuck in a cycle of manifesting what you don't prefer. So what am I telling myself is true right now? Does it match what I want? No. Okay, got to change it. What am I telling myself is true right now about SP? Does it make me feel good? And does it match what I want? No. Okay, I got to change it. All right. So practice noticing what you're telling yourself is true about your specific person. That's your answer. That's why maybe you feel like you haven't seen movement because you're telling yourself there's no movement. Or maybe that, why SP hasn't texted you because you're constantly telling yourself, oh, there's no text. Oh, he's not texting me. They're not texting me. She's not texting me. I haven't heard anything from her. Or you're constantly telling yourself that they're with somebody else. Are you manifesting them being with you? Or are you manifesting them being with somebody else? Are you choosing the reality where they're with you? Or are you constantly choosing the reality where they're with somebody else? At some point, you have to get honest with yourself and say, what am I telling myself is true about this? If it doesn't equal what I want, I got to stop doing that if I want to experience what I want. Okay? I intend this video helped you. I intend that you have amazing success manifesting absolutely any SP. And if you want help challenging the truths that you are assigning to people in your SP relationship, I would love to help you. I'm having a huge sale now through the end of the year. Everything will be in the description of this video. And I intend you have an amazing week ahead. See you in the next one.